Ooh, bitch. Ooh. Hello, y'all. How y'all doing? Um, okay, let me pause this because I came on here to let y'all know what's been going on with me. Um, I was trying to do this story time like last week, right? And I've been in a rut. So it's like I will walk past this computer and like I bought this laptop and I don't even use it, child. Like I've been working, doing a lot. I've been working just like everybody else, whoever's listening or whatever. Um, girl, I don't want to get on here and tell too much of my business, but I did want to share a story time. I said that I was going to come back around December the 1st and as a surprise, and I was gonna like try to do like a vlogmas type of thing, even though I ain't showing my face or whatever. But I was gonna try to do like a vlogmas thing where I'm like, you know how people like I used to watch other YouTube creators, right? When I was younger. And when Christmas come around, okay, I'll give somebody a shout out. I'll give somebody a shout out, even though they channel doing way better than mine. That's my fault, girl. I should have been doing this years ago. The Mademoiselle, I used to watch her. I don't watch her no more. I'm not even subscribed to her because like she like girl. Anyways, I ain't gonna get into why I don't follow her anymore. But anyways, I did fuck with her and respect to her and all that stuff. Ain't no beef. But I used to watch her, and how I got introduced to her is because she was doing like a video every day until Christmas came, and she was telling different story times, and I really really liked her story times. Like she could tell a good ass story. Like I mean, hey, if you like I mean, I recommend you try her out and see what her videos is giving. She made one video that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. It was like at first, girl is cute, but then you just kept on going. I'm like, okay, yeah, this bitch just don't. Yeah, let's she on the top a lot. But anyways, I wanted to give a story time. I don't know if I'm gonna break this up in sections. I don't know if I'm gonna add another story to it because they kind of connect with each other. Um, and I have three stories I want to tell, but it's like one might be long and one might be short, and then one might be short or one might be long. And I don't want to break it up in videos and it be super super short or whatever. Um, if you see this video, like you don't have to share. I mean, well, hell, share. Subscribe and I'm such an introvert. Listen to me talking about something don't you ain't gotta share. Look, you can share. I just use this as like low key, like a diary, low key. And look, and people come if they come. If they don't, I don't give a damn. Honestly, I mean, I would like for you to come here, like and subscribe, whatever. I would like this channel to flourish, but really and truly, I haven't been that consistent. I've been in a rut. I'm gonna just put it this way, okay? I was making really, really, really good money, right? And I made one mistake, and I fucked up that money, right? And pretty much I have to pay for other things. I have to pay for my mistakes to get back to where I was. I basically was my own boss. I ain't gonna get into what career it was. I will tell y'all later on down the line. When I tell y'all gonna be like, "What, bitch? You did that?" I'm like, "Yeah, girl." I be trying to tell people like, "Look, I might be gay or whatever like that, but." Girl, I don't dress gay at all. I dress before I open my mouth, you'll think that you looking at a nigga. And then, bitch, when I open my mouth, I feel like, hey, bitch, motherfuckers be looking, turning their heads. I'm like, what? Oh, you thought this was straight? You thought I was straight? Oh no, honey, this is sugar and spice over here, hun. But anyways, I be having to let people know, like, bitch, don't play with me. Like, bitch, I might be gay, but I could turn into a nigga real quick. All this gay shit will go out the window. People always told me that when I get ready to fight or if I get mad, I start arguing, I sound like a straight man. So believe it or not. But I started off. Do I tell? Okay. I'm gonna tell this story first, and it's really, really short. It's really a small. It's not even really a story. Basically, when I lost my job, right? First thing I could think of, okay, I got to go work for who I worked for before. And I hope y'all don't mind, but I want to do a sound test. Let me check the sound and see. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Yeah, we good. We in there like swimwear. Okay, it just sound quiet because I ain't got no damn music. But I'm gonna get some new music. I'm gonna get some sound effects. I'm gonna have the little applause. I'm gonna have all that. But anyways, I lost this job. I really want to tell the story on how I lost this job, but I feel like that's too soon. I honestly feel like I would be telling too much of my business, but I'm gonna just start it off cute and safe. I lost my job. I made a mistake. First thing I could think of was to go and find me another job, but other people were like, "Oh, before you go to your other job over here, try to go to I'm gonna call him Oko. Go to Oko. You know, it was an African tall, skinny man. I actually named him after another tall, skinny African man that I known from one of my other jobs. It was at one of the plants that I'm mentioning right here. Yes, it's a chicken plant before we go there. But first, I'm really overqualified for a plant, and I just went to this job simply because I was going to go to this plant because I knew that I could get the job and start literally the next day, and don't have to do no background check or anything like that. Just start. But before I went to this job, a lot of people were like, "Hey, why don't you go to Oko and work for him again?" I worked for this African man whenever I was in school for what my career is now, and basically I drove shuttle buses, and that was like a come up from the plant job that I just had that was an hour away. People talking to you crazy, and moving their weight around and stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff that happens at plants, like we about to get into that in a minute. But I'm just saying, I worked for this man before. My dad worked for him, my mechanic worked for him, my old landlord worked for him. It's like a lot of people I know. And he had a shuttle bus service, and it was basically around a pandemic. And we had a bus system, and then we had like like the brand of the bus system, they had like a smaller bus, and they were like shuttle buses, and they like went and got older folks, blind people, cognitive impaired people. I like to use that word now instead of saying you know retarded or low, have people say to be derogatory. I just say cognitive impaired, unless I'm talking about somebody that actually deserves it. But I really don't like to throw that word around whenever I use that. So it might slip. But cognitive impaired people, blind people, and stuff like that. And they take them to their appointments, take them to school, take them to work, take them to the gym, take them to the restaurant, whatever. And him, Oko, he had a brand himself, and he eventually ended up being contracted by the city. Um, and I was driving for him under the table. I was getting paid every day, and then after I left working from him, I would go to school, and then I wouldn't get off to school till like 9:30 or whatever. And I left with him in good standing, and I knew that I could always go back to him if I needed, a little job, a little gig, or whatever. And I just didn't like how it was a lot of moments where you would get certain patients or certain people, and then I had people that had attitudes, but that ain't the issue. It's just like I had some people that would be like weighing 500 pounds or something like that, and then you have to push them all the way around this big giant building because their building where their suite where they have to go for their appointment is all the way on the opposite side, and you parked where the emergency ramps was, not emergency ramps, handicapped ramps was. And so I had to hold big heavy people and stuff like that and guide them out. You have to have patience. um and I ended up working for him again because everybody was bringing him up and saying that I should work for him. I worked for him for a while. I think I worked for him for like a day, like 2 3 days. And I started on like Friday, the weekend went, I worked on Monday, Tuesday, and then I had an incident happen where like I had got like a 500-pound man, and I'm like, good God. And then you would think that he had like one of them big giant electrical wheelchairs. No, he had one of those small wheelchairs that you get at the hospital if you hit your foot or something, and they put you in it so you don't gotta walk on your foot. They put you in like the wheelchairs, the manual ones. I'm like, goodness gracious, this man is too heavy to be in a wheelchair like this. He needs to have some electricity moving his ass around. Okay, he was big. That was a big bitch. But anyways, yeah, so that had happened, and then there was another time where basically the same thing happened. I went to a building, I keep calling it the emergency exit. I don't know why that keeps happening. The wheelchair ramp was all the way on the other side. I had to go all the way around. I almost made them fall, and I was trying not to make them fall out the damn chair, and they end up suing my ass or some shit, or whatever. And so I just know there's this one lady I had. It was an old white woman. I'm being nice to the lady and stuff like that. I try as I get older, I try to have more patience and be nicer to patients and stuff. I said, if I ever did this job again, I would do it better than when I did it when I was younger and have more patience and stuff, which I was practicing. But mind you, I done got bigger since the last job because the last job that I had, I'm sitting all the time. I don't have any way to exercise and I'm working long hours. So, this lady, her wheelchair, the little thing where you put your leg in the wheelchair, that little part where you sit your leg, that part was broke and it was going to the right. It was her right. It was the one that supports her right leg. And it was going to the right. So her leg was about stiff and would not move. You would think it was fake. And I'm like, oh, um, I didn't notice anything. I just kept on hearing something in the back whenever I'm driving a van. Sir, oh, I'm like, oh, what's wrong? It's my foot, my foot. I'm in traffic and stuff. Well, I'm not in traffic. I'm just on the road driving. I'm like, damn, I'm gonna have to pull over to support this girl foot and stuff like that. I took my jacket off I put it on her leg thingy and I tried to push it back in, but I couldn't move her leg too much because she said her leg was damaged. I guess she could have bent it or something. I don't know. Um, and I put my jacket under her foot so it would be in place. I didn't have to do that. I just did that just to be kind and stuff like that. And then furthermore, whenever we went to the nursing home and I got her where I got her, um, mind you, my grandma lived at this nursing home years ago before she passed. And I've heard negative things about nursing homes in general where they mistreat your family members and stuff like that, and they just rude all around rude. And I didn't think that of it, but I come up in there with this lady. I figured I should do my due diligence and let her know that hey, her wheelchair is broke, and I gave her my jacket to put around her leg so she wouldn't hurt her foot and it wouldn't move too much and stuff. And this lady, her name was Miss Tillingson. I'm not censoring her name because fuck that bitch. Um, she was like, ow. I'm telling her this. I don't have to tell her this. I could have just dropped this old bag off. I could have just pushed it and moved on about my day. I'm being nice and letting them know, hey, her foot and her foot in her wheelchair is broke and her foot is basically just hitting the ground and she can't move her foot and it needs support. Her wheelchair needs to be fixed or tightened or whatever. I don't know. They're like, oh, now don't y'all know how to don't y'all don't didn't they teach y'all to fix wheelchairs? Shouldn't y'all know how to fix wheelchairs? I'm like, no, that's not in my job description, ma'am. But y'all are CNAs. Like, y'all are around wheelchairs a little bit more than we are. Like, don't you think that's be something that y'all should? I thought that that's something that y'all should know how to do. That's why I'm telling you now. We didn't take any classes on how to fix wheelchairs. Like, what? There was this other fat, black chick. She was like laughing. I guess she knew that the bitch was like rude, and that's why she was laughing and carrying on or whatever. It's like she wasn't laughing at me; she was laughing at my reaction to that bitch. Like it looked like I was about to go off, and I kind of was getting ready to, but I was trying to be respectful at the same time. But it was at the same time, it was like, well, bitch, you being rude with me, so bitch, I'm about to kick it back at your asshole. So what? I can match your energy, bitch. So she basically got on the phone with my boss, which wasn't really my boss. I don't look at him as a boss. I look at him as a family friend because at the time I knew that I could easily go to one of these plants and start like right away, and I'm looking at it as, hey, I'm helping you, you helping me type of thing because he actually needed me to help him and stuff like that. He knows I'm already trained. I worked for him before. But this ain't to disrespect him. It's just that, like, girl, you think you about to jeopardize my job by telling him he's going to side with me anyways, for one, because he knows how rude you bitches are. And then two, like, like, girl, I'm gonna still have my job. Like, what you think you're accomplishing? Like, what? Be careful, he might cuss your ass out. Like, like there's an African man though. He's really, really sweet, nice. And she just like, yes, this is your driver. I'm like, yes, it's me. Cause I really felt like, yeah, I might have said what I said back in a smart way, but in an ebonics way, but I just feel like, at the same time, you say what you said. I don't work for you. Here's your response. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it was. I'm about to go. I don't even know why I'm even still here entertaining this and going back and forth with her. So, like, I think that was my last day, and it wasn't off of her terms. It was off of mine. And I just said, look, I'm about to just go back to this other plant. He didn't go up on his pay either. And I'm working a little bit more hours, like an extra additional 2 hours versus when I did the last time because I had to go to school. And it's like, well, damn, if you making me work an extra 2 hours and rent that went up since then, gas that went up since then, since I last worked for you and all that, everything that went up, you could at least bump it an extra $20. Like, come on. Like, I was like, huh? But he was acting like he couldn't and that the city ain't paying him enough or whatever like that. So, I'm like, okay, well then I could just get the fuck on. Uh, y'all mind if I get something to drink real quick? Hold on. And I'm not about to parch myself. Sorry. Y'all could fast forward 30 seconds or something, but I'm telling this story. I have to be hydrated. I honestly should have had something already over here. But so yeah, hold on. Mm. Oh, excuse me. Oh, that sound nasty. Oh, I hope y'all did not hear that. I'm embarrassed. So basically, long story short, because I'm rambling now. I'm a horrible storyteller. I was wondering how this would work, but I rambled too much. Basically, uh, I left that job and I went back to the plant. Now, this is what I would have titled this story. I'm just going to add this story in, and the next story I might go live, even if it's for like 10 minutes, just to tell the other part. If y'all catch the replay or whatever, ain't nobody live right now because I ain't been consistent. I mean, there it is. I'm gonna go to the second story. I was gonna title it, and I shit you not. I told a whole hour story and it was articulated well, everything fine. Girl, how about the whole entire time I wasn't even added to the stream, which means that nobody heard it. Like, what? So I was like, okay, yeah, fuck this bullshit. Like, I even wrote a report and everything to a streamer. I was so mad. But anyways, the second story, I was going to title it I was molested at my job, which I really wasn't, but I kind of was. I would say it was sexually harassed. I did an application back at this chicken plant that I had worked at before. I had worked at the other location twice. I had worked at this location once. This location was more of like it gave me like a jailhouse vibe. The other job, it was more family oriented. Everybody talked to each other, had each other as friends on Facebook. I understand you don't have to be working at no job and have all these bitches as your friend on Facebook, but you get the point. Like, it was more family oriented. You selling something people will support and buy, or like, we all cool. Like, they ain't that strict on their rules. Like, we understand, like, they don't give a fuck. As long as we get the job done, we all go the fuck home. They didn't give a fuck. Shit, the supervisor was smoking weed and some was even doing bumps, bitch. So I mean, shit. So but this job, it was more of like a jailhouse type of vibe. Everybody acting like they got to stick up their ass, can't talk to each other. That's because half of the time they can't, because this specific plant was kind of overran by, I wouldn't say overran, I'll just say it was becoming more filled with Haitians. They have Haitians here. This other job that I ended up working at, that I'm gonna tell the story to tomorrow, they have Africans there. This is all on the same state. Some jobs have Haitians, some jobs has Africans, some jobs just have Mexicans. I mean, shit. You know, there's Mexicans at these jobs too. I'm just saying. They be speaking Spanish and Haitian Creole and all this other shit. But anyways, at this job, it's more, you can't really talk to nobody, you can't ask them for directions, you can't do nothing, like, really. And then you know, I was just like, okay. I come back to this job. I said that this go around, I want to go to thigh debone. And thigh debone is when you got a wizard knife, you put the damn chicken on the on the table, you slice that hoe open to the bone exposed, and then you scoop that motherfucker. You scoop it till there ain't no damn meat on that damn. You scoop that bitch. And I was getting good, so I got good real quick. I used to do that job back in the day at other plants. I'd had so much experience that I really qualified for a supervisor position, but I need to make me a resume and lie like all these other hoes. And I wasn't trying to be no supervisor. I was trying to get back to doing my other job. But I'm here. I'm. It's clear everybody could tell I'm gay. I'm here. I don't give a fuck. I'm that bitch. I'm back in here, whatever. And I said I'm gonna go to this department this go round. Last time I was just on D-Bone where we was just doing the whole bird. Um, Over here we on thighs, we on wizard knives. I'm like, okay, I can stand in one spot. We good. Ain't gotta rotate. None of that. Basically, this guy who was the line leader of my line, it was this dark skinned man. He had a green hat. That means he was line leader. He come up to me. He just kept on talking to me. He was like, "Oh, I love the way you talk." I'm like, "Oh," I'm sitting here thinking like, first he gave me a position. Like he gave me this just like I guess the Skinner table, which is like at the top. It's like this. It's like these stairs, and then I'm at the top of these stairs on this big ass stand, and I'm over everybody, and everybody looking up at me and shit, and it's just weird. But I felt like a boss because I was like, "Oh, I'm in front. I'm in the front seat. I'm in front. Y'all niggas down there. I'm looking." But really and truly, this job was hard because they wanted me to flip the meat and separate it and all this other stuff. No. And he gave me that. He put me up there. He just wanted to see how I like it. I honestly wanted to stay where I was at because I said once I get to this job, I'm gonna stay here. I'm not gonna get moved. I'm not gonna let nobody try to move me and stuff like that. Now here it is the first thing that his ass do whenever I first get here. I'm like, damn. Every time I go to a job, they want to move me somewhere else where I didn't want to work. Um. Anyways, so he come back up to me. He like, "Oh, I love the way you talk. Where you from?" Because for some reason, when I'm in California, people hear the Southern talk. When I go to Ohio, people hear the Southern talk. But when I'm down here, in the Carolinas, they hear the up north. Sometimes they say I sound like I'm from New York, and sometimes they say I sound like a Valley girl. Like my voice changes. I can't explain it. Like my accent will change. I probably don't even sound the same right now as I did in the other two videos. Granted, I was lit on those videos, bitch. Girl, I bitch was drunk and high. Anyways, um, he eventually comes up to me, right? And I noticed he had grabbed my ass, bitch. He had grabbed a whole handful of my ass. I'm like, bitch, what? I look at him. He's shorter than me, mind you. And I'm looking at him like, bitch, what? Like, but I didn't look at him like that. I'm not a prude, Look, I done seen some ass before that I wanted to grab plenty of times, but bitch, girl, the world would have ended if I did that, bitch. Ain't no telling how that would have went, bitch. These men be walking around here with all this ass and I can't just grab it. The bitch, the motherfuckers who I'm not even into want to grab mine, bitch. What world is this? But anyways, he like, "Oh, you ain't gonna slap me, is you?" I'm like, no. At first, when he gave me the job, I'm sitting here thinking like, wow, these people are really, really nice. He like my accent, stuff like that. And then he touched and grabbed my ass. I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm thinking at this point, like, okay, well, I'm about to just use his ass. Like, bitch, he can move me where I could be moved if whatever, like we just about to vibe out like that, you know. It wasn't that I'm about to use him or blackmail him and nothing like that. Nah. But I just felt like it would be okay because there's plenty of bitches that come to these jobs and niggas be liking them, supervisors be liking them. Next thing you know, they become a supervisor and they ain't even qualified for the position. Next thing you know, they a line leader. Next thing you know, they this, they that, whatever, because they done fucked such and such. That's how these plants go. And yeah, I just know we went to break. He came back, and his breath stunk so motherfucking bad. It smelled like shit and alcohol mixed together in the toilet and throw up. Like, and his teeth was like black at the bottom. His teeth was the full, honey. And I'm just sitting here looking like, bitch. I'm looking at him, my face frowned up, bitch. Like, I gotta take a shit or something. Like, bitch, I look uncomfortable, bitch. And I'm like, did you just drink? He's like, yeah. I was like, oh. You're like, you live around here? I'm like, no, I stay in such and such. He's like, oh. I'm like, you live around here? He's like, yep. And all I do is drink, smoke, and eat ass. I looked at him. I was like, oh, bitch, I gagged. I was like, oh. oh God. I was like, well, I hope you don't think he about to get none of this. And this good old Biscoff cookie, honey. Um, he and I guess eventually he took the hint that I was about to give him no nookie, no cookie. And I just noticed the next week, he started acting more strict and stuff towards me about rules. And like, it ain't that I have a problem with rules. It's just that, let's be honest, some of these plants be having some dumbass rules. One of these plants, they don't let you wear no hoodies. They don't want you wear this. They don't want you wear that. And it's like, girl, y'all act like y'all a corporate job. Y'all are a plant. Like, y'all not even paying like that. Like, chill. Honey, like, chill. And then, so I figured that okay, he stood beside me, right, to sharpen my damn wizard knife because this plant's so fucking broke that they don't even give their workers individual sharpeners. It's a line leader that walks around with the fucking sharpener and sharpens each knife individually. The other fucking location, everybody has their own sharpener. That's just bum shit, okay? So he's standing beside me. I pull out my phone just to check the time, honey. Just to check the time, bitch. I'm new. I don't have a stopwatch. The little sale ain't came yet. That comes every 3 months for people to buy stopwatches and freezer suits and fucking boots, and they just take it out your check. That didn't happen. So, bitch, I have to check my phone, and I'm wondering when we're going to break. I'm standing beside him. I'm using him as a shield. This is the gag. I'm using him as a shield to look at my phone. Then he like, oh, put your phone away. Don't be looking at your phone. I'm like, what? I'm like, well, nigga, you the only one who's seen it, so why do you give a damn? I'm thinking that I'm doing something good by not letting the supervisor see the shit. He a line leader. He think he a supervisor. And like, oh well, I can't write you up. I'm like, nigga, I don't give a fuck. Like, and I'm like, well, since when did you be all about the rules? And he was like, oh, I've always been about the rules. And I was like, oh, really? I was like, well, you wasn't all about the rules when you was grabbing my ass on the first day. And then he was like, you a lie. And he looked like he was about to deny. If you ever, girl, I just knew I had to watch him after that. So I just noticed like later on, like the next day, as the days came later on, the supervisor kept on fucking with me, like fucking with me as far as like picking with me over little shit. And it's like, huh? So I guess the day before this had happened drastically, um, sorry. The day before this had happened, the green hat line leader, he had referred somebody to ride with me. Oh, such and such equals the city that I stay in. I ain't about to tell y'all exactly where I stay. Y'all know too much. I'll be done told on myself by now. Um, and I'm like, oh, okay, okay, just put a ride on me, just put somebody on me. I wanted to just ride by myself. I wanted to listen to my girls, bitch. I be listening to my females. I listen to my gangster music here and there. My shit, I listen to Kamaya, but that ain't really female music really like that, but I don't know. Bitch, I like to listen to my music. I like to vibe. I like to fart when I want to fart. I like to do what I want to do. I don't like other niggas in my car, especially if I know they don't really fuck me like that. This nigga, I look at him, I'm like, wait a minute, pull your mask down. He put his mask down. He look at me. I look at him. We both look at each other and stuff like that. Now, mind you, I know who this dude is. And he basically was somebody that I went to the children's home with. Yes, I was in the children's home for like 8 months until I turned 18 because of some shit with my dad back in the day. And I met him. He was my roommate. He was very OCD. I ain't about to give you a whole bio of him. I just know that he really didn't fuck with me like that all the way, even though he might fake it in the future at this point, just for a ride or whatever. But I remember that he deleted me off of Facebook and all this other stuff. So I'm sitting here thinking, like, bitch, you think I don't know that you deleted me off of Facebook? You probably see me like something gay or something like that, or see me say something or whatever like that, and you probably deleted me. But bitch, like, I mean, come on now, that was fake. You could have unfollowed me or something, anything. I just don't, like, if you just unfriend me, bitch, stand on it. That's how I feel. And bitch, don't act like I ain't see that shit, because I did. I be going back to my memories on Facebook, and I be able to see that niggas are unfriending me and shit. Bitch, I'll be like, okay, kid, that same energy still over there, bitch. Y'all weird, bitch. I didn't even know y'all. What did I do? Like, bitch, I must have said something that triggered y'all for y'all to unfriend me, but whatever. Take it up with God, bitch. But anyways, back to him. I let him ride home with me and stuff like that. And I was like, I have seen you before in the past, but I didn't speak because I was working or whatever. Really, truly, I didn't speak because I knew the nigga unfollowed me. But anyways, so now I got a car rider. I took him because I felt like, fuck it. I could use him to basically pay for my gas for the full week. And he's going to pay it because he's going to need a ride there. And then I was going to try to get my cousin on, so that way I got two incomes coming in. If everything would have went perfectly well, everything should have went perfectly fine how everything was lined up. And basically the next day, right, we go to break. He comes to my car on break, and he had like he don't want to go inside and he don't feel good and shit like that. I'm like, okay, I just started letting this nigga come around, ride up with me and stuff like that. It's been so long, and I know the nigga a little weird. So I don't know if I really want to let him in my car by myself, but I ain't tripping. I do got to go back to work. I just ain't gonna leave my damn keys because I only got one motherfucking key, and I done locked my keys inside my car like three motherfucking times while that bitch was on. I done locked my keys inside of the car the first day I got my car while the bitch was on. So now we ain't better play those games with my keys. Like, I'm not gonna leave them bitches on. You better snuggle up, because it's cold and period. Um and I'm up here, talking to him and stuff like that. The whole entire time I'm up here about to be late. Now this job, they want to take away $2 of your pay per hour if you're late by any of those days for that whole entire week. They take $2 off of your check. So they doing that, mind you. They an hour away, and so it's not really worth it. I'm spending the money and gas on how much I'm making, pretty much. And I'm like, okay, yeah, this ain't worth it. I could go work somewhere else, like at one of my other jobs where they pay like an extra $10 per hour, and you get guaranteed more hours and stuff like that, and it's closer. Yeah, that's what my next move was, which it was. That's the next story. But so I come back in. The supervisor, he's some big, heavy set, fat, giant man. He's big. He's dark skinned. He's big. And he be falling asleep and shit in the corner. He be standing in the corner. He don't do no damn work. He lazy as fuck. He be on his damn phone on the floor. So I mean, like, well, damn, what type of example is you setting? So I come back. He up here standing by my workstation. The workstation that I had where I was on the scanner table, it's a guy beside me. I forgot to add this guy. It's like an old African man, Haitian man, whatever the fuck. And he right beside me, and it's like a big ass white bucket, like a square bucket. And basically the fucked up meat that come up on the thing that I can't, let through the scanner, I gotta throw in that bucket. And he takes it, he clips the meat off, and he does what he does with it. But I know we also break each other out, meaning that he comes up there and he flips some shits, and then he throws everything into that bucket. It ain't gonna pile up before I come back from the bathroom, and then vice versa. So I know that if I was ever late, I know rules is rules, but I've been to this plant before and been late before. It was never no big deal. I worked at another location. I was late before, like by a few seconds. It was no big deal as long as you got on there and it ain't been like over. As long as it ain't been over 5 minutes, you good. It ain't really that big of a deal. Ain't nobody tripping. And I bet there was other departments where their supervisors didn't care if you was too late. You fine. As long as you ain't too late. Um, so he up here shaking his head and nodding his head and shaking his head like, come on, bro. He ain't say it like that, but he's just shaking his head side to side like, like that. I'm like, what the fuck is big ass shaking his head for? Because I'm late by what, 20 seconds? Like what? Like I'm here, bitch. The fuck? Did you want me to leave? Like what? And I made up a story, and I was like, oh my rider, he threw up in my car, and I didn't even have time to clean it up. So I should be the one pissed off. So if that story was real, I feel like you're an asshole if if somebody tells you a story like that and you still disregard it, whatever. I'll go back to my station. Oh, he also is asking me for my name tag, and I'm telling him what happened and stuff like that. I'm up here in the middle of me, telling what happened. I was like, wait a minute, why do you need my name tag? He was like, oh, don't worry about it. I remember your name. I'm like, okay. Like, why is he saying it in a hostile way? Like he got a vendetta against me, or why he's saying it like he got an attitude? Like, if a supervisor called himself disciplining you and they got an attitude with it, I just be feeling like, bitch, you have some type of motives behind why the fuck you doing what you doing. You think you doing something by doing this. And bitch, I'm up here thinking like, well, damn, I was making like 3 times as much money as this nigga because I already know how much supervisors making. They ain't making nowhere near as much as I was making 3 months ago. So I'm like feeling like, damn, like, I'm having like a little ego trip where I'm like, well, damn, like, not the ego trip he is, but I'm up here, I'm having a hard time accepting this being told what the fuck to do by somebody, and I've been able to be my own boss for this long. Um, and that's not when this had happened. I'm just saying that's where I'm standing at this emotionally. The USDA lady came walking by. I'm thinking, I know one thing. I'm about to get my resume together, and I'm about to put all my credentials from all the plants that I worked at in the past, even if it was just for 2 months or whatever, at whatever plant it might have been. I'm about, because I feel like I qualify for a QA. I feel like I qualify for USDA. I feel like I qualify for a line leader. I feel like I qualify for a supervisor. I'm done selling myself short. I'm about to be 27 soon. Like, and I've been working at plants since I was 18, and they don't really like to. I've had attitude issues where it wasn't like a bad attitude. It's like they don't like nobody that got a lot of spunk and that ain't taking that from nobody and they can't humble themselves or whatever. I might come off unhumble or something like that. I'm trying to think of the right word. But I took it as like, how black men back in the day, they work at a job and it's like they working for the white man and they have to work twice as hard to get half of what the white man get and stuff like that. It was kind of like that with me at this job, even though I'm black and gay, because it's like now I'm a double minority and these bitches, I gotta hope and wonder if they really fuck with me. Some of these niggas, yeah, they fuck with me, but I'm not in a blood gang, or if I'm not fucking this supervisor, I'm not really gonna move up like that, and that's just how these plants are. So, um I asked this USDA lady, what do I got to do to be a USDA? And she was like, oh, basically, if you have a lot of plant experience, you're qualified for it. And then you just go to the USDA.com site and, do the application, whatever like that. And then, whatever. I'm like, okay, it was a dialogue. The dialogue was literally that long. It was like 20 seconds long. Next thing you know, I'm working. I'm working while the dialogue happened, by the way. Like, I'm leaning over, hearing her answer, and I'm still looking at my table and still doing my job. And then you know, somehow, some way, the line leader came, the one that been acting real funny and shit. He up here telling me to come off, and then next thing you know, the supervisor walks up, and then he's telling me that, hey, I'm gonna have to send you home. Um, I gotta send you home. We only had 2 hours left, but it's like, why are you sending me home? Because I asked a question to somebody. I'm up here trying, little do he know, I'm up here trying to better my damn self, trying to get the fuck away from over here, and you up here punishing me for asking a question to get myself from away from this damn job. It's like, damn, I can't even network properly. I'm up here trying to ask about other jobs and shit. I understand I'm supposed to be working, but I mean, shit, I was. He tried to say that I was letting meat pass by and shit like that. I'm like, what? I wasn't. Like, I felt like he was just lying. And then he tried to make it seem like I was talking to her for like a whole minute. It was under 30 seconds. I shit you not. If not just 30 seconds. Literally on the dot hole. So, I'm like, he's up here trying to, he up here uh, shooing me away to, he walked off and he basically told me to talk to the line leader again. And the line leader, he walked me over here to this table. He was trying to get my ID card again. Not again, but like the supervisor was. And then he was trying to get me to sign something. Now I know at these plants, whenever you get rolled up, you don't have to like, it's like an amendment, right? Like, you don't have to sign a damn thing. You don't have to sign anything that you don't feel like you rightfully deserve. Anything you don't have to sign, you don't have to sign nothing. And I treated that shit as such. I'm like, okay, I don't gotta sign any damn thing. He's like, come on, Rick, come on, man. I'm like, I don't. Like, I don't have to sign that. Bye. And I left, and that was my last day there. I tried to come up there another day. I think I had already told the supervisor I wasn't coming to work the next day. So, but the fact that he caught himself trying to send me home, basically, long and behold, and what everybody was telling me, they think that, and I thought that the line leader was basically working behind the scenes to try to get me out of there. I worked at a plant before where some supervisor basically lied and said that I took an hour and a half break. He went inside of and talked to the HR manager. He talked to him for like 10 minutes before I went inside of there. And next thing you know, I was fired with no questions asked. I literally had one more day until that wouldn't have been able to happen. Whenever you're first starting, at this specific job, I know I don't went from one story time to another. I'm just saying, at this job, that specific job, not the one that I just told you the story to, but that specific job where somebody literally just lied on me to get me up out of there. Um, Within like 3 months or something like that, you get that the colored hat of your area instead of like the newbie hat. And basically you wouldn't be that disposable. The way they system was, I don't feel like going into too much details on a story that's unrelated to this story, but just basically long overall, a lot of these motherfuckers will lie and get you fired. I had somebody else lie at another plant, the House of Rayford. Damn, I done told y'all which one of the jobs it was. I mean, well, shit, I wasn't at. You got to figure out which House of Rayford it was for one, and then for two, um, that's not what job I was at recently. I don't give a damn, honestly. It was House Raper, okay? I worked at way more jobs than that, like chicken plants than that, but that was just one that I knew I could get on at real quick. And yeah, I had somebody lie and say that I threw chickens and knives and shit like that. It was the same supervisor that was buying edibles for me the week prior. So I mean, hey, take that and do what you do. If you made it this long and you listen to this story, I really appreciate you because I do be rambling. Like if somebody actually is a fan of me and actually sat here and listened to this, even if it's months later down the line and you came back all the way to my videos, back whenever they was just, I just went live and started talking. If you look, like, share, subscribe. Aquarius love, where you at, girl? I'm coming back, bitch. Back better than ever. My biggest comeback gonna be harder than that setback. Okay, the ones who said that I couldn't make it, we about to show their ass, bitch. Um, and yeah, I ain't about to drag this shit on too long. We at 41 minutes. That's my story. I might come online tomorrow and tell y'all what happened today. Literally today. This happened today. Um, I feel like it will be better to tell stories like this months down the road, so at least it won't be, oh well, you should do this. Oh, you should do that. But I'm a transparent person. I'm a regular person, just like everybody else. I'm not big headed. I'm very personable, bitch. So if you fuck with this content, subscribe, like the video. If you don't, hey, fuck it. As long as you watched it, that's all I gave a damn about. I'm just came here to rant. Bye, you guys.